Hello and welcome. My name is Katie and I am with ProNotary. And today we have Wade Vander Molen here. Thank you so much for joining us. I wanted to have you on because I wanted to talk more about title and get more into that mindset, kind of shed some more light on what it is that title does. And then just get into some of the different topics. So thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So, if you could give a little bit of a summary of what it is that you do within your business.
Okay. Yeah. So Wade Vander Molen with Pruitt Title. I've been in the title industry since 2005. So I've seen a lot, ups and down markets. And what my primary role is at Pruitt Title is I work directly with my realtor lender clients, and we help them maximize their business opportunities through offline and online marketing, right? Whether they're targeting properties in their farm, they're going after specific homeowners, they need to improve their social media game, or they want to start a YouTube channel, they need improvements on their website, or whatever that is that helps make them better at what they do, allows them to get more exposure. We play that role for them. And then for the services that we provide and offer and the value adds, we want to build a relationship where we are closing their real estate transactions.
I'm glad that you said that because that's one of the reasons why I brought you on is that you have a little bit more of an interesting way of presenting title companies and what it is that they do. Because, like, as far as the notary end, all we see basically is the paperwork side of things. They're generating the paperwork, you guys are doing the title searches and everything like that. But I haven't really seen, I guess, the other side of the parts that you help the realtors. So could you kind of go into how you do that value add, or how you tell them, like, how you partner with realtors to help them? Yeah.
Sure. Well, I mean, look, it's a title company. We can't close business we don't have. So we have to go generate and create business, right? Obviously, in a COVID market, there wasn't a lot of extra things that were needed on our end per se, because rates were so low that people were just buying and selling, and they were refinancing, and it was kind of like the craziest time we'd ever seen. But then, of course, the pendulum swung the other way, right? And when it goes the other way and business is dry, people aren't selling, they're competing on listing appointments, right? Because not a lot of properties for sale, so everyone's competing. How do you create that value proposition so that people pick you over somebody else? How do they discover you over somebody else? And in reality, most agents, they're not strong marketers. That's not their job, right? They didn't they don't teach you that at real estate school. They don't teach you that when you go to your real estate office most of the time. You have to figure out how to go get business, right? Whether that's through prospecting, through other ways in which you're creating that visibility online. And for a lot of agents, they struggle with that. And that's where we come in to say, well, look, I know you need a title partner, right? You're going to be using title as part of your process anyway. So why not work with a title company that's going to help you with the things that you might be struggling with, right? So that's why I have my website and my YouTube channel and all the things that I do with videos, because I want to be able to lead by example to my clients, right? So that I can't just say, hey, you should go do videos. I want, hey, I do videos. Let me show you how to do the videos. Let me show you how to get started. Let me show you how to set up a channel or whatever. So, it adds a lot of value to us if you can walk the walk, not just talk it, right? So that's what we do so that our clients come to us for all types of help, right? I had a lender reach out to me earlier today, and she wanted to know if I had a good surveyor. Well, I had to ask my team, and then they gave me a name and I gave it. So it could be something small and it could be something big, right? Whether it's like sponsor my event, or, hey, I just sold a house, I need 100 houses around it. And can you pull their phone number so I can start calling those homeowners to let them know that I sold this house in 2 days on the market and $40,000 over asking, because my sign wasn't in the yard very long. I didn't get any exposure. So I got to go call these people and tell them what I did, because maybe I can go pick up another listing, but they come to us for that information.
So that's okay. So you have access to software that can help the realtors find that type of information. And then do you kind of help them implement that as well?
Yeah. We can, if they ask us for additional help. I mean, it's not my job to do it for them, but I mean,
Well,
if
yeah.
they say like, hey, I want to send out some mailers, what's a really good postcard company? I'm like, use this company. This is great. This is what they're going to do for you. Or if they say, I want those 100 houses, and I'll say, okay, well, do you want me to remove people that bought less than 24 months ago? Do you want me to remove the absentee owners? Do you want just the owner occupied people that have been there for a certain period of time that could sell, they have equity? They're like, oh yeah. So part of the value proposition is bringing them the ideas, because they're
Hmm.
like, oh, just give me 100 houses. Well, what if somebody moved in 4 months ago? They're
Yeah.
not,
And
they're not selling, right? Let's pull all the people out that aren't selling, and let's get the other people who have a more likely need to sell. So that it might not be the 100 closest homes, but it's the
uh
100 homes closest to the property that could be a better fit to sell.
So basically, the way that I don't know why I haven't heard any more title companies talk about this, but the partnership seems so nice as far as that type of relationship with the realtor and the title companies. Because sometimes on my end I'll see it, I'll see the emails between title companies or realtors, and everything like that, but I didn't really understand the deepness of the level that it can get to with Pruitt, and yeah, so I imagine that would help with retention for these realtors. Have you
It
found that to be
does.
the case?
Yeah, because when the transaction's over, right?
Hmm.
Typically a lot of title companies, it's like, okay, transaction's over. See you till next time. We're reaching out to them to say, okay, transaction's over. Now what? Right? Now what do you need help with? Oh, well, I do want to get those properties, and can you help me do this? Right? Or hey, by the way, I know we're heading into fall. Do you have any fall events coming up that you need help with? Right? Oh yeah, I'm going to do a pumpkin patch event in October. Great. Tell me when that is so I can get that on my calendar now, and then we can help you sponsor that. Right. So we're like going after the deal's closed. It's like we're not just being like, okay, well, let me know when you come back. Like we are helping them through other things when we don't have deals together, so that when they have transactions to send, they want to send it to us because they're like paying us back for all the help that we've given them.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree as far as making relationship businesses, because I'm sure there's other title companies that would market towards realtors. But it does make a difference from, like, Wade is helping me with, this sponsorship event, or, he helped me find all of these different leads. So it does make a difference. I didn't ever really think about that, because we only see the
Yeah.
closings, the closing gifts, and then that's it, and then we're on our way. But how did you kind of learn about this as far as presenting this as options to realtors, so that way you showcase your value?
Sure, sure. Well, I mean, look, title's title for the most part, right? For the most part. I mean, most of us are all underwritten by 4 or 5 major underwriters. I used to work for a direct operation underwriter. So, I mean, it's all being underwritten similarly, ish.
Hmm.
So, how do you stand out in a crowd, right? In a crowd of competitors, right? Whether it's like, hey, whether you're the best looking or you're the smartest or you're the funniest or great, that's all great. But that doesn't help agents make money, right? So agents want to make money. That's why they're in real
Hmm.
estate, right? They want to help people, but they also want to make money, right? So they want to grow their business. They want to create more exposure. And as things continue to evolve, like they're going to have to pivot even more. When I got into the business, it was like whoever sent out the most postcards, because that's how they created the most exposure.
Hmm.
And this was like 2005, so no Facebook, no Instagram, right? Phones didn't have cameras on them that shot videos, and no YouTube stuff, right? So, and now it's more pivoted towards this, right?
Hmm.
So I was going to get ready to shoot a video where stamps went up from 55 cents to 73 cents a stamp. Okay, well that's an 18-cent jump. So obviously, with the cost of the mailer, you're now adding an additional 18 cents to every one of your mailers.
Yes.
Well, if you can create online visibility that costs you nothing, like
Hmm.
you can get in front of thousands of people, like, or you can run Facebook ads at a fraction of a cost or whatever, right? Would you want to consider pivoting to that versus staying with what you've always known? But now your cost to get in front of people is really high, and your conversions are low because most people don't even like to go to their mailbox. So, just teaching them better, more efficient ways to get in front of people. And we had to do that. Otherwise, it's like, how do you become successful at something? You have to learn by going to the internet, following people online, seeing what they're doing, getting ideas from others, then kind of making it your own and creating your own thing. and then implementing it and bringing that to the real estate community and not really caring what people think, right? And you just go do it. Just go do it.
Yeah.
And that's what I did, and that's what I've done. Since I got into the business.
I agree with you as far as like I think that there definitely is a huge shift from paperwork and postcards and everything like that, because I'll get however many postcards and I'll just immediately get rid of it. But if I see something online, I'm most of us are online anyway, whether we want to be or not, just because of social media and just the way that it is. But there are definitely benefits to moving your business more onto social media, and having people to partner with to kind of show how to set up a YouTube channel. Because it's not hard, but it's not easy. And, getting the setup and kind of doing stuff like that. I definitely would also recommend going on social media, obviously.
Yeah.
Because it's just like I tell everybody, like, if you're thinking about it, do it, because it talks for you. Like there's
Sure.
however many people and how many impressions that you do. Like you shoot a video once and then you can put it out there and it's out there forever and you don't have to do it again. So I definitely also agree.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I wanted to kind of go into your coaching program as well, because it's the same thing as kind of when you're becoming a notary. There's not that much information of like how to be successful. And there's not that information out there as much about how to be a successful rep as well.
Yeah. So I wasn't trying to start a coaching program. So this is kind of funny. So as I created a lot of content online and, hundreds of YouTube videos and articles and blah, 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 obviously that created a lot of discoverability. Right. And as the crowd started getting bigger, initially it was mostly for realtors. It's still, obviously I do stuff for realtors, but it started to shift more towards title companies and people that were entering the title space, obviously not getting trained or trained at all or trained well. And they were going to the internet to look up information on their own time because they weren't getting it at their companies, and finding videos that I had created, because I started to create some videos for title people because I figured, they could benefit. And then it more shifted to a lot of videos towards title people. And then I started a coaching program because of the amount of people that started to reach out. I don't know. I've probably spoken to 400 people, 500 people at least. And they're from all over the country, but their plight is pretty similar, right? They work for a company. They're really excited about the job. They see how you can do really well, but then they start getting into the job and no one has trained them, right? They don't know how to acquire, convert, retain, follow up. They have no scripts, no dialogues, how to handle objections. Their value proposition is usually they look a certain way and that's might be it, right? They're nice, but they have nothing else. They have nothing else. And they're like, that only gets you so far. And they're like, I'm only having very minimal success and I'm struggling and I don't know why. And I'm searching the internet and I came across you, and can you help me? So, So, when I started in title, there was no training, and it was a struggle for a while, right? Because, there were no one was willing to really help. So now that I've come to the point in my career where I am, and I know there's a lot of people looking for that help, I'm willing to and wanting to give it and provide that to them so that they can create success quickly in their markets and actually like going to work and liking their job because they know how to create success versus just kind of flailing around and trying to figure it out for themselves. And then they don't.
Yeah. Sales is a little bit of a different beast when it comes to trying to start something and you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to start a business and this is going to be great. And, and, I'm going to make so much money. And then it's like, okay, all of these people keep saying no, and this is not as fun as you would think. Right. So yeah, I definitely can see where people would be like, all right, and then find your course and everything like that, or your training program. Now, do you have a course and a training program?
Well, there we are. That's a good question. So I have a training program. Yes, that's great. So I'm in the process of putting together an online course that people can purchase, because there's a lot of people that move forward with coaching and they're great, and there's other people that get all the way to the finish line and they don't move forward for whatever reason. Usually they don't want to pay money, but you know
Mhm.
what? It's not free. But if I create an online coaching option that they say, hey, look, you don't want to go ahead and spend the time even for one-on-one sessions or whatever, you can go over here. You can take an online course. Obviously, in an online course, you're not getting Q&A and back and forth and all that. But you
Mhm.
know what? It is something that will help you get to the finish line, learn what you need to learn to create success, get your business off the ground, and convert people that were on the fence of maybe becoming customers to becoming customers and retaining customers. Yep. So that's a good question because that's where we are. Yep.
Okay. 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 So, segueing to a little bit of a different topic. If I am a notary that is looking to partner with a title company as a remote online notary or even as a loan signing agent, what is the best way to market towards you?
Okay. That's good. I'll shift real quick and say, here's the best way not to do it. Don't send me a crappy email that says, hey, I'm a notary and I've been doing it for 20 years and I'm great. And if your company ever needs a notary, reach out. Because I'll let you know that, a lot of title companies get those emails. We get them all the time. It's just not something that we're going to respond to. Like, I understand this is more time consuming or whatever, but either make phone calls,
Hmm.
try to get to the decision maker, try to set up an appointment with the decision maker, walk into the offices. I know that's also a little bit time consuming, but if you're getting started, you got to do some stuff. You got
Yeah.
to get face to face, right? Drop off your cards, offer to bring in lunch, or if you want to, if they tell you that they're full, hey, look, we're good. Be like, awesome. Here's my information anyway. I know that once, refinances pick up, or I know once market picks up, or you're going to come into a situation where somebody who you normally use is sick, like, feel free to give me a call because I'll jump in and I'll handle that for you. So,
Hmm.
just because they say no doesn't mean no forever. It could just mean no right now. But or get on social media. There's a couple of good people on Instagram that I follow that are notaries
Hmm.
and on social, and
Yeah.
they're creating that visibility online for themselves, because also the reason why an email doesn't work because I don't know you. I don't know you. I don't know anything about you. It's just, here's what I do, boom. And, there's no context behind it. So if I can get to know you on social, you're actually shooting videos of you doing signings, or this is what you have on the plate for this week. This is the type of work that you do. Like, this is where you'll travel to. And you're kind of getting people to know you
Hmm.
on social. Like, and then you follow up with somebody or you have something to send them, they can watch in advance. That's going to help the credibility part. It's going to help them want to move forward to potentially working with you and signing you or having you become a notary for that company. But just sending out blast emails isn't going to get it done, especially if you're getting your business off the ground. You got to make calls, you got to create content on social, and you got to be in front of people in offices. I mean, I've coached people in like North Carolina, title people,
Hmm.
and they market to attorneys. Okay, same thing in Atlanta, market to attorneys, things like that. So I mean, they have to go to those law offices and go meet with those
Hmm.
paralegals and go meet with the attorneys, and they have to do presentations and bring in lunch or snacks or whatever. But they do it. They call ahead of time and say, "I'm coming by with this. Can I get 10 minutes of your time?" Right, to
Hmm.
the decision maker. Block off that 10 minutes and have something ready to go. Have an elevator speech. Have a pitch. Know your value proposition. Be able to explain it. Maybe have testimonials from people that you've worked with that ready to go, right? So that you can say, hey, look, these are people that I've worked with, and this is what they think about my performance.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah. Because we as a notary, we have all of these different industries. It's not just title companies that we
sure.
can market to, and that's one of the things that I highlight with ProNotary, because obviously we want our independent notaries to have a good client base. But going into law firms for the very first time is so like it's so much more intimidating, I feel like, than title companies, and I don't really know why. But after you get used to it a little bit, it's not as intimidating. The first time that I went to make a pitch, there was someone that brought me into a group of like five of them, and they were already all at a conference table, and they were all just like, okay, tell us about your business. And I was like, oh no, this was a bad idea. But I mean, afterwards, that was it. That was the end of it. And it's just a muscle that you have to flex to get used to it. And then
You
now
gotta
it's like,
you gotta practice. You gotta
yeah.
practice stating your value proposition, right? Again,
Mhm.
I do this with my coaching clients. You and I are at the top of the Empire State Building. We walk into an elevator. Hey, what's your name? Oh, I'm Katie. Great. Katie, what do you do? I work for ProNotary. Elevator
Mhm.
starts going down. By the time we get to the ground floor, I should have a pretty good understanding of what ProNotary is, what you
Mhm.
do, and what makes you special,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I usually have exactly an elevator pitch of
Yeah.
exactly what it is that, we do. We partner with different notaries and different businesses to do everything remotely. Um, so one of the things that I also wanted to bring up, and this is something that we were talking about earlier, is what are your thoughts on the title companies that expect the buyers or the sellers that are out of state or out of country to basically deal with the notarization of the closing themselves?
When you told me that, I was kind of taken aback. I mean, that's something that we would never do. I mean, we would
Yeah.
never, think about the work that we put in to even getting the client in the door. Then they bring us a contract. Yay. Escrow officers do great. Yay. And then all of a sudden, once we get to the end, they're like, you're on your own. Go find something
Hmm.
and let us know. I mean, I think that's a great way to lose customers. I think it's a great way to not have retention, because you're kind of, especially one of the most stressful things people do is to buy a house or sell a house, right? Especially buying a
Yeah.
house. So, they're already stressed. And all of a sudden now you're like, go find somebody to get your paperwork signed
Hmm.
and or go find a notary on your own without the title company that the real estate agent hired to handle your transaction is not taking responsibility for it. I mean, if I was a buyer and that happened to me, I would go to the agent and say, look, I don't know why you recommended this company to me, but they really left me hanging here and I'm really stressed out. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. I mean, I had that. I wanted to highlight that case that I was talking about, because I'm a notary that still, I have my business up and everything like that. So I got reached out to by a seller that was selling something in Kentucky, but they lived in my area. And they were like, all right, we have these closing documents. It's 7 o'clock at night when they finally got all of the documentation. Can you please meet us because we need to send it to FedEx the next morning? And I was able to help them. But it was not the best experience for those people. It was in a parking lot because that's where I was going to meet them at 7 o'clock at night. And so it's just not the best. So if there is a title company that is on the fence on how to get everything kind of set up, partner with either a nationwide signing service, a remote online notary that would be able to do those types of documents, at any time of day, or the responsibility should be on you, not on the buyers or the sellers. So
No, agreed. Yeah. I mean, again, it's just one more stressful thing that you're adding to the list of things that they're already stressed out about. And it's not
mhm.
helpful to anyone to do that.
No, and especially like, so there's certain notaries that are trained on how to do loan documents because they can be very tricky. They can be very confusing on, some of the different types, like the Patriot Act. Someone that has just done their commission and hasn't taken any type of training wouldn't know how to necessarily fill that out. But to just kind of leave these people with no direction and just be like, oh yeah, either go to your bank or UPS, that is not the best experience for anyone involved. So that's my pet peeve for the week, that I just kind of wanted to highlight, that there's other companies that can source the notaries for you, or you can just partner with a remote online notary, either independent or a company, so that doesn't happen anymore.
Mhm.
But
Yes, agreed.
yeah. So I think that was everything that I wanted to go over. I wanted to thank you for spending this time with me and sharing with your knowledge. Is there anything else that you wanted to go over before we end the session?
Yeah. I mean, I think if your audience is mostly people in the notary profession, is that,
Hmm.
look, if you want to grow your business, you got to get uncomfortable. Okay, you got to get uncomfortable. You got to get outside yourself, right? Whether if it's social or video or walking into that law office, practicing your elevator pitch, knowing what your value proposition is, get that together, right? If
Hmm.
you don't know how to get started on the social or the videos, talk to somebody who does, right? Or partner with somebody who does, or lean on somebody who does, take a course online or something, because, if that's where you want to go to grow your business, you have to pivot and be willing to be where people put their eyeballs, right? And you have to be seen.
Hmm.
Uh, Email's not going to get it done, right? You got to do more than just that, because that's
Yeah.
passive marketing, right? So you got to get out there and make it happen.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. And how do we find you for people that want to learn a little bit more
Sure.
or yeah.
Yeah. My website is dctitleguy.com, and I have a YouTube channel. It's just my name, Wade Vander Molen. And I have an Instagram account at DC Title Guy.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
All right. Thanks.